live from Austin, Texas, where we're now legally required to say which country we're from when we introduce ourselves. It's Retropals with American Danny and American Alex. Hello, American Alex.
Oh, hello, American Danny.
Oh, it's a good day to be an American Danny, I tell you what. And an American Alex, I assume.
No, it's alright. It could be better.
Yeah, for sure. Well, today we're going to visit our old friend American Sammy, who I'm sure all of you are familiar with and quite curious about if you've ever heard that name before. American Sammy.
Stay away from me.
Good night, everybody.
I was going to say we're off to a great start.
Just going to end it right there, I think. Yeah, so we're back. Last week was kind of a wash. We both got deathly ill, me more so than Alex. And once again, special thanks to Alex for filling in on Friday with a very last-minute, hastily put-together Euro Truck Simulator stream. That turned out better than I thought it would. Alex roleplayed a divorced Santa, and he took all the used Funko Pops in Europe off to the dump. And,
I did.
Yeah, it was a pretty good story that unfolded over those 2 hours. Did not expect that.
Before we begin, I want to thank Blunt the King for resubscribing. Been subscribed 5 months in a row, and they say American resub. Come on, let me be.
Yeah, American
Thank
resub.
Thank
So
you.
that music you hear now, the chilling theme from Amagon, can only mean one thing. We're here to talk about American Sammy. Now, you may be asking yourself, who is this American Sammy? The Sammy USA. Hey, who's Sammy USA? And more to the point, what does Sammy USA do, Alex?
Games.
They do games! This is a snapshot of their website as it appeared in the 90s. Actually, no, it looks like that's labeled through the 2001 is when that still existed. Yeah, at some point in the 90s they put up this website and then they didn't change it for like a decade. So for a good part of the early 2000s, you could go to American Sammy's website and that would be the first thing you see at the top of the page. I gotta admit, that answers all the questions I had to begin with. Who are they and what do they do? Games! Alex has put a link to the archived version of that page in case you don't believe us.
It's good.
I recommend checking it out. American Sammy, they don't do web pages, that's for sure. But they do games. So,
Before we move on, I want to thank, we got 4 resubs. Uzi resubscribed, and they say, Amagon for 19 months. True, 19 months in a row. Game Quota resubscribed 4 months in a row. And Speedy Bree resubscribed 8 months and says, I was finally off for 2 Mondays. The Retropals were off. I think there was a conspiracy afoot. Also, pour one out for Santa Trucker. And Actual Geek says, it's me, Sammy USA. And they've been sub
Welcome to all Sammys, regardless of nationalities. You're welcome here.
All Sammys are good.
That's true. So, let's talk a little bit about American Sammy while we have the Amagon music ringing in our heads. Oh, the music in this stage is the worst. You'll love it. So, okay, Sammy. They started in 1975, so a fairly young company as far as they go. They're no Nintendo. They didn't get started with Hanafuda or anything. They started in 1975, making amusement machines and Space Invaders ripoffs, which was the thing to do back then. Like, it wasn't even considered ripoffs. It was just like, oh, we're going to make our own Invader game. It wasn't even considered like bootlegging or anything. Just everyone did it. Even Nintendo, even Sega. So after a while, Sammy was all like, hey, we should expand our business into the rich pachinko vein we have here in Japan. They started making pachinko machines and patchy slot machines. And that proved very popular for them, so much so that they felt no need to go into the home console business for many, many years. That's right, in comparison to the other companies we've seen so far, like, we covered Jalico. They were there since the early days of the Famicom, making stuff like Exerion, as early as 84, 85. People like Konami and Capcom were also right there at the beginning. Sammy didn't start making NES games until 1989.
Ooh.
So, way late to the party. Back when we did our Acclaim episode, they started in 87, and that was already kind of late to the party. But Sammy, they saw the whole 8-bit generation just pass on by, and they were like, I don't know about this. This whole home console thing just seems like a flash in the pan to us. But then came 89, and they decided, you know what, this whole business is so big, we can no longer ignore it. So let's open up a publishing business in America. That's right. Sammy started publishing NES games in America before it published a single Famicom game. So, a really weird company. Like, every other Japanese publisher from that time, it was like, started early with the Famicom, then jumped over to the US. Nope, American Sammy, they were all like, nope, we're gonna go to the US. That's where the action is. And then it was only after several years that they decided, you know what, we should probably start releasing stuff in Japan too. So they went ahead and did that. So kind of a reverse story from what we're used to here in the Famicom era. What other notes did I write down? Okay, so like Bandai, Sammy had no internal studio. They relied on contractors in order to do their dirty work. And this is where I think they compare favorably with other publishers at the time. If you remember Bandai, they stuck with Tosei. And Tosei, sometimes you can get some good stuff, most of it's mediocre, not at all notable. Other publishers were less lucky. They took to companies like Micronics and other low-rent companies. Sammy came out looking pretty good. They contracted companies like Icom and NMK, which are a step above from what you usually expect from Famicom contractors. How much so? How much better? Let's find out. Let's start playing these damn games. Let's do it.
Games! Hold on. Games!
What do they do?
Games.
Games.
Alright, there he is.
God, this guy. Can't stand him.
We're real Amagon haters here.
So this is not a Sammy original, to put it lightly. This was released in Japan originally in 1988. It was published by Vic Tokai and developed by Aicom. This is Amagon, also known as Totsuzen Macho Man in Japan, or Transform Macho Man.
Definitely.
You'll see what that means. But for now, let's give Alex a chance to play.
Oh.
Alex is going
to.
Great. We're gonna give our everyday man on the street opinion of a game. If you just pulled a dude off the street and told him to play a video game, this is what it would be like.
I appreciate you saying that rather than Alex sucks at games.
It's a nice way to put it.
You're very polite.
You're a normal amount of good at video games, or however they phrased it for RNO. So yeah, this is fairly late into the Famicom's lifespan. Companies had a few good years of making games. Mario came out in '85, then came Mario 2. At this point, Mario 3 was out in Japan, so Amagon was following up on that. And, well, imagine Mario had a gun, and he controlled like shit. And that's basically Amagon.
And everything wants to kill me, that's cool.
The Ultimo earlier posted a whole bunch of American Sammy ads in our Discord, and the one for Amagon just felt like they were trying to sell a game that didn't exist. They were just like, oh, we put this on a Mega cartridge. This game stars the world's most decorated Marine, is what they call him. Even though on the cover he looks like a kid. He looks like he's like freaking 12 years old, and yet he's in the Marines, and he's also become the most decorated Marine. That says a lot about the American military-industrial complex, as far as I'm concerned. But whatever the story, here he is. He's some dipshit with a machine gun. And eventually you can transform into a giant muscle man. Yeah, if you collect that thing. Except that's usually how it goes. This is not unusual. This is a one-hit death game. The controls are extremely awkward. Like, if you release the jump button, he immediately loses all upward momentum and just drops like a stone. And yet, for some reason, for whatever reason, I think this is one of the more popular American Sammy games, mainly because this was the first out of the gate, the first one they released over here. One of Vic Tokai's that they didn't feel like picking up and publishing themselves. American Sammy were all like, nope, this is a fine debut for us.
Screw it, I'm trying again. I want to turn into that muscle man.
Yeah, do it. So anyone here play Amagon? This seems like a rental special. This is like a game every NES owner rented as a kid, including me. I rented this. I didn't like it very much. I didn't get very far. What are the opinions of old Amagon nowadays? Has history been kind to him?
No.
Dr. Jordo owned it. Oh my goodness. Well, there's worse games to play, and maybe that's why Amagon got so popular. It's just like, it's a third-party game that's not complete and total turds. It's still kind of fun to play. Alex trying to run away from the situation, but it's not working. See Amagon's amazing transformation into powerful Megagon. At some point we will.
We will. I just need to get better at video games.
Oh, here we go.
I got one, but I didn't transform.
Yeah, that's the interesting part of this game. In order to transform, it's based on score. You get 1 hit point as Megagon for every 5,000 points you've collected, so you didn't have any, so you couldn't transform. And that's also a really interesting part of the game. I can't think of any other game that uses score like that as kind of a resource for you to manage throughout. And for whatever reason, that fact just completely flummoxed poor McCall45 when he tried to play this a couple weeks ago. If anyone saw that, he was all like, "No, I don't want to give up my score. The score's so satisfying. I can't give up the score." And yet, the game's designed around transforming, so if you don't, you were just going to have a miserable time. So instead, he had a miserable time. I don't think he realizes you get the points back if you don't use them by the end of the stage. So it's kind of a... They've got kind of an economy set up for your points, of all things. Yeah, poor McCall. I've seen this guy just... I've seen him plow through the most difficult games, just like the most jank-ass barbarian games for the Amiga, and yet Amagon just completely stonewalled him. Just goes to show, different strokes. Some games are harder than others for different people.
I am keeping my cool, but boy.
Oh yeah, Flowing Mind Spin. Yeah, Gunsmoke did the same thing. You had to get a certain number of points before you could buy different things. You also had to buy the wanted posters, which summon the bosses.
I couldn't do the muscle TF.
You did well, Alex. Hand it over.
I'm so mad. I wanted to show that off because it's funny as hell.
I just wanted to give a perspective on what the average gamer would do with Amagon, and that is die repeatedly in the first level. Okay, I'm taking over now. So the story is, you're on this island, and you can actually see the boat you have to get to in the distance. Like, it's so close you could just swim to it, but I guess Amagon can't swim.
Amagon can't do anything.
So you got this gun. You got plenty of ammo. Don't even worry about it. If you run out, you use your gun as a sword. But in regular Amagon form, that's what you don't want to be. You want to get to be Megagon as quickly as possible, because Megagon can take more than 1 hit. He doesn't die instantly. The most decorated marine, and a single touch from a bird just kills him.
He destroys his ass.
Okay, we got the token, and we can transform, but I want to get a little bit more points so we can get another additional life bar.
This game is so hard.
It is. It is. It's deceptively hard, too. Like, you look at it, and it doesn't seem that difficult, but it is. Okay, I want to get to... Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, he's so handsome.
Yep, he is huge. I guess that was kind of a good selling point back then, just having the massive sprite. And it's also kind of cathartic, being able to just beat the shit out of these enemies after they've done the same to you as Amagon. It's also nice having a life meter. Yep, I took a hit there and I didn't die. Amazing.
Brighton Tail, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that video you're talking about is going to be our intermission, so look forward to that.
Oh good, you've predicted our intermission.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah, after stage 2-1, they have to use the slow button, and you can hear the beeps throughout the video, and I kept that.
That's cool.
It's very interesting. Also, it's
remember slow motion?
Oh god.
Good times. It's also kind of weird because he insists on uppercutting everything. He doesn't do jabs, he just uppercuts.
To whoever mentioned that he has a very powerful ass, he does.
It's very well defined, yeah.
I guess, you know, it's... Oh, now he's just a pathetic marine.
I lost my muscle body. I gotta get... Anyone see a Gold's Gym around here? I got a letter in the mail from Planet Fitness today, and and they said if you join, you can use the gym in any part of the world. Like, yeah, I'm on vacation. I'm gonna go do some reps.
Listen, when I'm visiting other cities, as you know, I often do.
Mm-hmm.
All I can think about is where I'm going to find an elliptical machine.
Oh yeah.
To keep my ass in shape. Whoa, cool lion.
Wow, I actually got him. Yeah, bosses are tough to beat if you're not Megagon. I kind of got lucky with that. But the thing is, if you get to a certain point, like if you get a full life bar with 70,000 points and you get several lives in reserve, the game becomes weirdly easy. It's a very odd balance this game strikes. Like, this stage is probably going to be pretty easy because look at my life bar.
Yeah.
I can just run right through everything.
You're so handsome.
Is that why this game was popular?
I don't know about anyone else, but for me, I like how handsome you are.
Love how those tree things pop up when you uppercut them. Very satisfying. That one didn't come down. Now I'm fighting an entire family of snakes.
That one ran into the ocean!
Yeah. I don't know, anyone have any explanation for how weirdly popular this game was? Maybe it was just because it was so early.
Video Game King calls it Normcore Altered Beast.
That could be it, yeah. Yeah, Altered Beast was a bit too much for people to handle, but Amagon, this is every man's fantasy right here. You got a machine gun, and you can turn into a macho man. What else do you need?
Let's see here.
Shit. Shit!
Big fans of... Oh, the Japanese cover art. I'm gonna take a look.
Oh yeah, check that out. That's pretty wild.
Wow, that's so much better!
Uh-huh. Oh, it started me off with 0 bullets for some reason. Okay, you get to enjoy his whacking animation. Check that out. Also, his face becomes twice as long when this happens.
Yeah, maybe they did run off just a bunch of copies of this game. Who knows?
Why did it start me with 0 bullets? Is this game somehow not programmed well? I still have 0 bullets!
Well...
Aicom? Well, okay, this is the first showing of Aicom, who we're going to see a lot, because that was Sammy's go-to developer when they wanted something quick and dirty for the American market. Yeah, here this was just a holdover from the Famicom era. Good lord.
I got a question. Is Amagon the same guy from all those memes on Facebook about the cool Marine guy?
I think you're thinking of the Virgin Chad meme.
Okay.
He plays the role of Chad.
Okay, I was gonna say, does he play both?
Oh, yeah. Amagon is the Virgin, and Megagon is the Chad.
Okay, I get it.
Good, we finally solved this mystery.
And they both support each other very
Yeah.
much. It's like, hey, Amagon, heard you were having a bad day. You want to go out and get coffee with me? Wow, thanks, Megagon. Can't wait. Apparently, Awesome Possum is,
Awesome Possum is Amagon.
Yeah.
Alright, I think I'm just going to do one more life of this, but you get the point. This is a strange start for a strange company. Just imagine seeing this game on the shelf and seeing the developer, American Sammy? Who the hell is that? Who would call themselves American Sammy?
It's a good name.
It is a good
I don't know
name.
about you, but
It
I
is
love
very
that name.
memorable, I'll give them that.
Amagon is self-care, exactly.
Should also note, the Japanese studio, or rather company, is just Sammy Corporation, so what do you call your American branch? American Sammy. That's the only reason it's named that. It's not named after a person or anything.
I like that a lot, though.
It's so simple-minded, I have to admire it. Well, there was the cool line, man. Uppercutting on my grave.
Rip your grave.
And now I think it's time to move on.
Yeah.
This one was for you, AMA fans. For anyone who got stuck with this as a kid, I feel ya. So that was April 1989, a fantastic debut, by any measure. Next game came in July 89. That was Thundercade. And you know what? We've seen this before.
Have we?
Mm-hmm. Because until Sammy got its shit together, they were kind of licensing, or rather contracting from a whole bunch of different contract developers, including Micronics. Yeah. They learned their lesson pretty quick, but we have to tell the story here. We've seen this. I think we went over this when we covered it for the Micronics stream, but your job is to go to the enemy's power plant and then literally blow it up and walk away while it's exploding in the background, because you're just that cool and that powerful.
Oh, apparently they didn't become Sammy Corporation until 1997. Before then, they were Sammy Industry Corporation Limited.
Oh, good old Sammy Industries.
That sounds like they make Sammys!
Yeah.
The fuck is a Sammy? A sandwich?
We make Sammys and Sammy accessories. Yeah, sandwiches, that's what it is.
I fucking assume.
Yeah, so this is a port of a Taito arcade game, and in typical Micronics fashion, it runs at a shit frame rate with really juddery sprites. And it looks like our bit rate is kind of going nuts. So
sorry if we drop out, but we're back to
if it gets too severe, like if we get a complete stream dropout, do let us know.
Yeah.
OBS was giving us guff earlier. Yeah, this game's bad. I'm not sure what else I can say about it. It's your typical Micronics joint. And, I mean, you gotta fill out your catalog when you're brand new here in the States. What did the people like? They liked arcade ports, and you gotta give the people what they want. Now, this is also kind of unusual because this game was an American exclusive. This was never released in Japan, and in fact, that was kind of a running theme for Sammy. If you look at their release list for the 8-bit Famicom and NES, they had 4 releases that were exclusive in Japan, and 3 that were exclusive in the States. That's kind of a weird ratio compared to other companies, where stuff like Capcom, there was like 30 games that were exclusive to the Famicom, and maybe like a few that were exclusive to the NES. American Sammy, true to their name, they were focused on the Americas. And that's unfortunate in the case of games like this.
Yeah.
But luckily, we only had to wait 6 more months for the next game. January 1990. In Japan, it was published by CBS. In America, it was American Sammy. This is Twin Cobra.
Did you say CVS or CBS?
CBS. That's different from our CBS. Japanese CBS is something different.
Okay.
So does this look familiar? Because we played this one too. This is also by Micronics.
Oh my god, Micronics! Stay away from me! Also, everyone, yeah, the overscan in this is a little wild.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
once again, Micronics delivers. Bad frame rate, juddery sprites, the whole business.
Yeah, Micronics also doesn't bring us very buff men.
It doesn't, no. I hope they go back to Icom soon.
I do too.
Those guys had promise. These Micronics guys, they ain't going nowhere.
Mike. Mr. Mike, I don't know what to do with you.
Micronics, you're under arrest.
Go back to your college dorm or whatever.
Now this one's a shame because this is actually a Toaplan game, but you wouldn't believe it just by looking at it. This was the precursor to stuff like Fire Shark and Thundercade? No, not Thundercade. What was the game I'm thinking of? Someone knows.
Someone.
Anyway, they made a bunch of shooters and they were good, but not when they were ported by Micronics.
Electric Boogaloo says it is the exact same CBS.
It is the same CBS?
It's
Cool.
CBS/Sony Group. So
Wow.
I am
So
too lazy to fact check that, so I'm just gonna pretend I'm just gonna go with yeah.
So from the same broadcaster who brought you The Big Bang Theory comes Micronics. Yeah, CBS had a hell of a lineup in Japan. They did Micronics ports. They did this weird, fucked up game called Seikimatsu, which is based on a Japanese Kiss band ripoff.
I like that.
And they did the infamous Perry Dakar Rally, which is excellent.
Very excellent. Crush Gal says young Micronics, yes.
I want to do a stream on CBS, come to think of it. Man, they just didn't give a fuck. They were released whatever. Okay, this game gets off a little bit better than Thundercade, but it's still a disappointment. Luckily, I think Sammy learned its lesson. I don't think they did any Micronics games after this, so enjoy it while it lasts. Okay, I've enjoyed it enough.
Okay. Alright, let's move on then. What's next?
So next up, it was another 6 months before the next American Sammy game hit the States, and this one was a US exclusive. And it's another game we've seen before, but it's not by Micronics. This is, finally, Arkista's Ring.
Finally!
Finally, we get to give this game some attention. We tried to play part of this when we did our Mattel Hyperscan stream, but that didn't work out so well. But now we can give this our full attention. This is so weird because this game seems like it's totally ported from a Japanese game, but was never released in Japan. Never got a Famicom release.
Alright.
So you play Christine,
Uh-huh.
who is an elf, a female elf, a felf. She's from Arkista, and she needs to save the country's ring or something. What were you about to say?
Well, apparently, more info about CBS in Japan. It's the Japanese branch of CBS Records / Columbia Records, which is now known as Sony Music Japan.
Oh, I see. So more of a record studio than a broadcaster. I get you. So this game's kind of similar to Gauntlet, I guess you could say, only without the decreasing life meter. kind of slower paced.
I feel bad, but I was like, oh yeah, we've got that good frame rate now, too. Look at how good that looks.
Yep, 60 FPS Arkista's Ring. Living the dream. This one's notable for a few reasons. This was developed by NMK. That's not Micronics, thank Christ. They did several arcade games before this, including a whole bunch of shooters, some platformers, including a game called Psychic 5, which arcade lovers really love. That is a game I've seen BBH play, and it seems pretty good. But suffice to say, NMK, a much more accomplished and competent developer than Micronics was. And once American Sammy saw what they can do, there was no going back. No more Micronics, they decided. We're going with you, NMK. Anyone know what NMK stands for, by the way?
Let's see. I'm...
No more, Crunchlings.
I was gonna say Knuckles. But...
Okay, no more Knuckles.
Scarlet Swordfish says it stands for Not Micronics. Not Micronics, not Mortal Kombat, no more Cornflakes,
I'm sure those are all correct.
No Man's Knowledge, which I do like.
Oh wow, mysterious.
And from Electric Boogaloo, so this is probably the actual answer, Nihon Maicom Kaihatsu.
Oh wow, that's basically SNK, but just one of the names changed.
Oh, and Bad Game Hall of Fame resubscribed. I subscribed 11 months in a row, thank you. They subscribed with the message, Nihon Maicom Kaihatsu. So yes.
Nice, thank you. Confirmed.
Double confirmation there.
So this game has an inventory system. At any time you can pause and bring up the inventory, and you can select the potion, for instance, and get your life back. You also get random equipment drops, and just general bonus stats that are just awarded at random, and I mean ass random, whenever you destroy an enemy. Like, depending on your playthrough, you can either get armor, or life, or an item, or an inventory extend. It's just whatever the game decides to give you.
So it translates to it does translate to Japanese microcomputer developer. You're right.
Oh wow.
Nihon Maicom, which is microcomputer. Kaihatsu. Damn. Also, we got more theories about what NMK stands for, because, you know, it can't stand for Japanese microcomputer.
Right.
Krungo says it stands for Needs More Kongs. And, Scarlet Swordfish says it's Nordic Models killing it. And Uzi says, need my Kellogg's. Video Game King, no more Karos, because they really did not like Karo from Protector Sakura.
I see. All of those make sense. I'm sure they thought of all those when they were making that name. So I don't know about this game. This seems... Okay, my theory, my dark, unproven theory, is that this game was scheduled for Japanese release and then cancelled. And then they brought it back, finished up what they had, and released it here in the States. That theory is kind of supported by the TCRF article on this game. If you go to the cutting room floor and look up Arkista's Ring, there's something like a ton of unused NPCs, and also monsters, and just creatures you could interact with beyond shooting, basically. I think at one point they wanted to make this a full-fledged action RPG, but eventually, just before this American exclusive release, they just decided to trim it down and take what they have. But man, looking in the game's ROM, it's something like a quarter of the graphics data is unused. It's really wild. They wanted this to be more than what it was, and for whatever reason, it just is what it is.
Nasty Meats, Kick-Ass, No More Kangaroos, Not Monkey King, Nude Morty Kong, Not My Kink, Nuts, I think I already said Nuts and Milk Kissing, yes.
I like Not My Kink. Just shopping themselves around to publishers, and they'd have to go, nope, not my kink.
This is such a good,
It's a neat little game, yeah. It's kind of appealing in that early Japanese RPG style, you know. It's just a little basic. And it's pretty much entirely forgotten, even by people who dumped ROMs back in the day, because... Let me get my prideful point out of the way. The only reason this ROM exists is because I had my cartridge dumped. The ROM comes from my cartridge.
Oh.
That's why you can play Arkista's Ring nowadays, because no one gave a shit enough to buy it before then and have it dumped.
Well, thank you, Danny.
No problem. You also have me to thank for the NES version of Die Hard, because that's another one that no one cared enough to dump. And also, of course, Bible Buffet. I mean, come on.
Let's see. NMK stands for Nasty Martin Kruger, Nude Master Killer, and
Nude Master Killer.
And as Electric Boogaloo mentions, it's kind of NMK is also the initials of the founders of the group as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. That's something a Japanese company would do.
Video Game King asking if this is the only good game you've dumped, or you've had dumped.
Hey, Die Hard is great. Die Hard is a stone cold classic. It's the best pack-in video game ever made, no doubt.
Also, Flowing Mind Spin owned this as a kid, so someone played this back in the day.
Yeah, I know a few people who had it. It's just, man, it's so obscure. And yet it's not rare. It's one of those games that's just like $10 if you get the cartridge.
Well, thanks, Danny.
Just for whatever reason, it was overlooked by literally everyone. It suffered the same fate as No Escape for the Sega Genesis. It was a game that was extremely common, but no one gave a shit about the movie No Escape, so no one thought to dump it, and that's why it was the last Sega Genesis game to be dumped. I'm interested in this stuff, alright? No one else cares about which games were the last dumped to be for each system, but I know, and I care, and that knowledge will die with me.
You're like the guy in The Giver, except the knowledge you give to people is about...
Yeah, I give it away begrudgingly and with a lot of cursing, too. Makes it a very inappropriate children's book. Now, see here, kid, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have no Arkista's ring. You'd just be playing Super Mario Brothers or some shit.
Oh, well, BMF mentions that they got us the PRG-1 revision of Bart vs. the Space Mutants. Thank you, BMF.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
And some prototypes. Who cares about that when you can have Bart vs. the Space Mutants?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of us here who can claim ROM dumping fame, assuming that's a thing. No one gives a shit. Yeah, occasionally you get these mazes you have to navigate through. It's a game with a decent amount of variety, but man, I wish I could have seen what they were planning, you know? What would this look like if it was a full-fledged action RPG? Or even just an RPG a la, what's that one game you like? Ghost Lion.
Oh, Ghost Lion, yeah.
Ghost Lion's cool.
Ghost Lion is real cool.
That's all I have to say about it.
Chat says, earlier Chat said Nasty Mario Kart, now they say normal Mario Kart.
Oh, Nasty Mario Kart. Didn't they announce that at the Nintendo Direct?
I didn't actually watch a Nintendo Direct.
I didn't either. I took a nap. Anyone know what they announced?
Oh my god. Kids, that's what happens when you get old.
Yeah. You're all like, Nintendo Direct, but a nap. Oh, right, they announced the Link's Awakening remake. I saw that. Never thought I'd see Nintendo remake a Zelda game that I give a shit about, but here we are.
Thank you, The Ultimo, for the Sonic Adventure previews. Appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
Okay, so that's 10 levels of Arkista's Ring. It's good! You should check it out. If you want to see a more fleshed out take on this game, they released a semi-sequel on Game Boy called Roland's Curse, and also Roland's Curse 2. A couple of games I've never played, but they're very similar to Arkista's Ring, and both are by NMK. Give them a shot. Why not? So next up is Arkista's World Grand Prix.
No.
Alright, next up was... Okay, this game was in June 90. Oh, this was the same month! The same month Arkista's Ring launched, you could head to your local Toys R Us and pick up Michael Andretti's World GP.
Nice.
So you ready for how many companies were involved in this game? In Japan, this was released by a publisher called Varie, that's spelled V-A-R-I-E. It was developed by Human, but they were not yet known as Human, they were known as Sonata at this point. It was picked up for release in America by American Sammy, where they changed the license from Satoru Nakajima to Michael Andretti.
Okay.
So a whole bunch of companies and race drivers were involved in the making of this game. Let's see how it is. I've never played this one. My name is Michael Buttman.
Hello, Michael Buttman.
Triangle. Oh, there he is.
Oh my god.
It's Michael Buttman versus Michelle Alvaretta.
I'm sorry, Buttman, but you're gonna get your ass kicked.
I'm not even in here. Where are you, Buttman?
You're not good enough, sorry.
Oh, it's so tiny!
Aww.
Look at that little car.
It's a little baby car.
Well, what we have here is the very first Micro Machines game. Emphasis on micro.
You're so tiny.
Good lord. Okay, well I've seen games that have that kind of split-screen presentation where the map is on one side and the actual race is on the other. You may have heard of a game called Mario Kart that does something like this. But man, that is one tiny car.
Look at that little car.
It's cute.
Sure.
Oh no!
Oh.
Okay, so you have to manually shift in this game, which I don't like. There should be an automatic option.
That sucks.
Wait, there's a 0 gear? Oh, you can put yourself in neutral for some reason? What use would you have for that?
Brian tells us it's a Micronic machine.
Well, no matter if you were a fan of Nakajima or Andretti, you were going to be disappointed by this game, because look at this. This is post-Rad Racer, people. This is post, what were other good NES racers?
God. I didn't play any racing games on the NES.
Post RC Pro-Am. Post,
There we go. Is this post Micro Machines?
It might have been. 1990 is pretty late to be making a shit game like this. Look at this. Rats, I didn't write down when the Japanese version came out, but I'd believe it if you told me this was an 88 or an 89 game.
Alright, I turned down the buzzing there, hopefully,
Yeah, that's right, no music, just the hum of your engine. I'm gonna try and finish at least one lap here to give the proper respect to Mr. Andretti. Even though he doesn't deserve it. Did he even look at this game before putting his name on it?
He looked at the check.
Fair enough. So like, oh, I'm expecting a big payday from American Sammy. No one else on his team knew who that was. They just thought it was his sugar daddy.
Michael Andretti's sugar daddy, American Sammy. Well, I will admit, I do actually like this kind of racer sometimes, too. This is just...
It can be good, but this one plays bad. It plays so bad. You have to tap the direction multiple times to go in a different... Like, okay, when I'm in my usual position here, I'm holding left right now. What you need to do is tap left a bunch of times to get your shit back on track. That is so unnatural. That's like a robot driving a car. A shitty robot. Okay, we're heading to the final corner. We can finally finish the first of 5 laps. Can you imagine playing this for 5 laps?
I can't. Danny. All I can think of now is Sugar Sammy.
American Sammy, the sugar daddy.
Just...
There, I pitted in.
Good.
It didn't work. It didn't take. I think that beep meant that I finished the lap.
It meant that you got first place and you won.
Oh, I win! Michael Andretti, number 1. Good job. We won the F1. Now they don't need to have any more of them.
Racing is over, if you want it.
Also in June 1990. Wow, big month for Sammy. 3 games out. Arkista's Ring, Michael Andretti's World GP, and Silkworm. Now this is the first game in their catalog that I couldn't find a developer for because it's not listed in the game and there's no credits. But if you look in the graphics ROM, there's some scrabbled tiles for a Tecmo logo. So did Tecmo develop this?
Maybe. Or maybe this was by someone who did work for Tecmo as well.
That could be it, yeah. Or Tecmo wanted to publish it in Japan. Robert, Stacy, get in the Cobra and Panther and get out immediately. Roger.
Is that Norman Schwarzkopf?
It is. Storm and Norman, his first video game appearance. Sammy presents. Oh, this game's neat. It's 2-player simultaneous, but I don't want to do that.
Thank you.
This game you can play as either a helicopter or a jeep, and the game is very different depending on what you pick. Let's go with the jeep first.
I like the Silkworm logo.
Yeah, this game's better than you might think. It's a port of an arcade game. which also had the whole one player picks a Jeep and the other one picks the helicopter, that whole gimmick. And it's a side-scrolling shooter. Only one player is ground-based, which makes this pretty unique.
Okay, Dark Tetsuya mentions that Tecmo did the arcade game, so...
Oh, okay, maybe they wanted to publish it themselves, but just decided they weren't happy with results or something. I can only assume. So I would think that the Jeep is kind of at a disadvantage because you can't fly, you can just jump. Which is cool. It's nice to have a Jeep that can jump like 30 feet in the air. Still no helicopter.
What does this have to do with worms? A worm is driving the vehicle.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's who... It was Roger and Stacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, they're worms.
Yeah, they're worms.
They're worms in cool suits.
Yeah, this doesn't play bad at all.
Okay, the Silkworm is actually a kind of missile.
Oh, that's what they were referring to. Okay. Yeah, as far as Sammy games go, this one ain't bad. And I think this one got a fair amount of coverage back in the day. I remember seeing this one around. This was a game you could play. And in fact, the arcade version was, for some reason, very popular in Europe. Either popular, or it was just one of those games that got ported to every microcomputer. This one got ported to the ZX Spectrum, the Amiga, all that good shit. And believe it or not, it was kind of an inspiration for a generation of developers. You may not believe that just by looking at it, but it's true. One of the more famous games to come out of Europe at that time was a game called Swiv, S-W-I-V. There was a sequel for Super Nintendo called Super Swiv, which was released over here as something different. Someone else knows the title, I'm sure of it. Anyway, Swiv stands for Silkworm in vertical. It was, yeah, you controlled a Jeep and a helicopter, only it was a vertical shooter instead of a horizontal one. And these days, Swiv is probably much more famous than the original Silkworm, unfortunately. Is this working? Looks like it's working. Oh yeah. Cool. Hey, this is alright. I kinda like this one.
Yeah, this doesn't look that bad. This looks fun.
Mm-hmm. Got some nice upgrades. The action goes by at a good clip. It's not by Micronics, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know who did it, but we do know it's definitely not Micronics. Let's give a quick look at the helicopter, why not?
Cool. Chat's been screaming Firepower 2000, so...
Oh, Firepower 2000, that's what it's called, thank you.
I completely missed everyone saying that, because I was like, ooh.
Yeah, there was Super Swiv, aka Firepower 2000, and then there was Mega Swiv for the Sega Mega Drive. That never got a US release, though. So yeah, if you count the Swivs as part of this series, Silkworm had quite a few games, and if you don't, it only had one game. Alright, whoever gets the helicopter is kind of a jerk, because the helicopter is clearly superior to the Jeep.
I was gonna say, it seems like you're kicking ass here.
You can shoot in the air and on the ground, is the thing. Like, it would be one thing if only the Jeep could fire along the ground, but no, the helicopter can do that too.
Everyone's calling it the Jeep.
The Jeep. Getting the Jeep.
Beep beep, who's got the keys to my Jeep? I don't know. I don't know. Apparently in the arcade game, the helicopter is bullshit, and the Jeep, or the Jeep, is very good.
Oh, really? Man, that's kind of a twist. Just preying on the fact that ignorant assholes like me would be like, oh, why wouldn't you pick the helicopter?
Beef, beef, I'm a Jeep.
Guess they sure showed me. Yeah, Silkworm. Definitely better than those Micronics games we just showed. Good lord. Go play Silkworm if you're going to play a Sammy shooter from back then. So right now, Sammy's looking pretty good. It's the middle of 1990. They released some actual good games. Stuff like Arkista's Ring. Not Michael Andretti's World GP, but I guess you need a racing game if you're going to be a publisher. You gotta have at least one racing game. But, next up, it's September of 1990. It's time for a basketball game. Ultimate Basketball.
Oh, you can hear the roar of the crowd.
Oh, yeah. Sammy.
Oh, I like that VGA aesthetic or whatever, CGA aesthetic.
That is kind of a CGA aesthetic, isn't it?
I like it, yeah.
So I guess this is when this was in the wake of Double Dribble, a very, very popular game. So a whole bunch of publishers decided, hey, we want that Double Dribble money. And thus Ultimate Basketball was born. Now, if you thought Michael Andretti's World GP was a shit show of different licensees and developers, get ready for this.
The unions?
This game was developed by Icom, so it's not a Sammy production. It is a contractor game. In Japan, it was called Taito Basketball because it was released by Taito. So it's a Taito basketball game that wasn't made by Taito, and it doesn't matter anyway because Sammy released it over here. Anyway, believe it or not, Icom has a big history with basketball sims. Over on the TurboGrafx 16, they released a game called Taking It to the Hoop.
That was the unions versus the power.
Well, who we got here? We got the Houston Comets, the Dallas Fighters, the San Diego Dolphins, Chicago Wolves,
wow,
the Detroit Unions.
Hey, Danny.
The Los Angeles Eagles and the New York Powers, whose logo is a fist punching down at the earth.
This is so good.
Wait, the Unions are fists pointing up. The Powers... Holy shit, it's the man versus the Unions.
Yeah, this game whips ass.
Wow, I haven't even started, and this game's starting a revolution on me. And Chicago, their mascot seems to be the Egyptian god, you know, Dogface. Anubis.
The dog.
Mr. Dogface, yeah.
You're gonna get...
We're live here from Sammy Stadium in tribute to our god, Dogface. Here, the Detroit Unions are taking on the New York Powers. They automatically pair you up against the Powers if you pick the Unions.
100 bits from Trop of Luxury who says, American Sammy go on Chapo. Brian Tell says Detroit become Union, and I forget who meant... Okay, Scarlet Swordfish mentioned the imagery is interesting because it's the three fists going up, but the Powers is one large fist going down. That is very...
Yeah, I caught that too. That was incredibly interesting imagery they chose for those two teams.
This kicks ass.
So they do have these little cutaways like they had in Double Dribble, so that's obviously the inspiration here. They were going right for that Double Dribble money, and who can blame them? Oh, they stole the ball. Some power. Jeez.
Kick their ass, Danny.
American Sammy, welcome to the Resistance. This game has all kinds of political undertones.
I love this game.
But it also looks pretty good, right? Like those full screen graphics. They were monochrome in Double Dribble. Here they're full color.
It looks really nice.
It does.
Even when he messes up.
I'm gonna try for a dunk here. Oh, charging! He got in my way! Referee.
No, Sleepy Yoshi, do not stop. I appreciate your typing. I really do. No, it's fine. You should...
Okay, is it legal to pass the ball to your own teammate when you're supposed to inbound it after getting a basket? That doesn't seem like a thing that should happen. I'm no basketballer, though. I took one step and got a charging call on me. Did you see that shit? These are people who jump at the basket without throwing the ball in it. They call charging when you've just taken one step. This is a basketball nightmare. Wait, that's a Master System game. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Taking it to the hoop. Oh yeah. That was pretty cool. For NES, right?
Mm-hmm. This is very cool. Pushing!
Pushing, charging. Tax evasion. Oh, wow. Dude.
What the fuck? This is really well done.
This is Sammy's Double Dribble killer. And I'll never get tired of seeing that. That's just hilarious. Yeah, Icom, it's no wonder they made so many basketball sims, because, boy, they could do it. This is alright. Also like how the dudes go flying when you push them. Mood. Well, I'm getting blown out 2-17 here, but this is still a pretty neat game. I wasn't expecting much, but having played it, this compares pretty favorably to Double Dribble. Not bad, Sammy.
Not bad.
Icom, Taito, Michael Andretti.
Thank you, Michael Andretti.
Well, let's see. We're about to hit our intermission here soon, but I think we can fit in one more game. How about we close out 1990? Their next release came in December of 1990, and if they were cashing in on the basketball craze, the next craze they wanted to cash in on was the ninja craze. This is Ninja Crusaders.
Alright, Ninja Crusaders.
Alex, I don't even want to know the context for you typing that.
Sorry, I was just answering a question in chat, but we're done. We're done discussing,
Okay.
We're done discussing figures in the Left Online.
We're ninjas now, and unfortunately the whole world's been destroyed. Look at the background here. Yeah, we're ninjas. We have to save what's left of the world. Now, this game's kind of unique because it's a two-player simultaneous ninja game, which you didn't see very much. The Ninja Gaiden games were cool, but they were only one player. This is superior because it's two-player, and also because you die in one hit.
Oh, no!
Yeah, imagine Ninja Gaiden if you died in one hit, and that's Ninja Crusaders. You do get a bunch of power-ups. You got this, the whip and chain thing that ninjas have. You can also switch between them, I think? Am I wrong? It's been too long since I played this. Anyway, all I know about this game is that it's a speedrunner favorite, because if you know how to play this, you can beat it in 5 minutes. It's a very short game. It's also not too bad. I don't know why you'd want a stick instead of the big-ass chain, but whatever.
This is another NMK joint.
Oh right, yeah, this is NMK developed, so they proved they could do side-scrollers in addition to whatever Arkista's Ring was. Though you wouldn't really expect this is from the developers of Psychic 5, because this is not nearly as good. This is kind of an unpolished game, unfortunately. But can you blame them for trying to cash in on ninjas? We had, what did we have? Ninja Turtles, we had Ninja Gaiden, we had Shadow of the Ninja.
God. Ninja Kid?
Ninja Kid and Ninja Kids.
Kid Nicky Radical Ninja?
Mm-hmm. So many ninjas.
And Miss Sandwich mentions, of course, our favorite robot ninja, Haggleman.
Oh, right. Haggleman, Jajamaru. It had them all.
Shadow of the Ninja.
Anyone know how you change into the animals? I'm pretty sure that's a thing in this game, right?
Chat said press down, but...
Okay, I'll do that after I'm not dead.
Okay.
Stage 1-2, Watery Grave.
You just... sunk. Or not. Okay,
Oh, here we go. I'm a scorpion!
What the f-
I'm a scorpion who can just zoom through the water.
Oh, you're so fast.
Yeah, I know you can also be a cat, so that's cool.
Ooh.
I wish I'd gotten the cat power-up, but this works. Okay, the game suddenly controls way better. That's my tip for this game. If you're gonna play this, be the Scorpion. Scorpion is real slow on land. There we go. Alright, so it's got some transformation in it, which is now a theme for Sammy, starting with Amagon. This is for the folks who want to transform into animals, not big muscle men. It's a completely different market.
Also, Dr. Boogle's mentioned a few times in chat, but NMK's holdings are now owned by Hamster.
Oh, okay. So they can theoretically release their stuff as part of the arcade archives if they wanted to. That's neat. Make me another animal. There we go.
You're a water tiger.
Uh-huh. I'm one of them water tigers.
Did you see what you just did? You just punch that fish in the face.
Yep. Yeah, this game's kind of jank, but also it has a lot of cool stuff in it, like being able to turn into animals and just tear ass through these levels as quickly as possible. I guess that's what makes it so appealing as a speed game. It's something you can beat really quick, and the animal forms just... Look how high you can jump! Yeah, not my kind of game personally, but it's okay. It's not horrible. There were worse ninja games, that's for sure. Wrath of the Black Manta, way worse than this.
That was cool.
Yeah. Oh, what animal am I gonna be this time? A freaking bird!
Oh, that's much cooler.
No, it's not. No, it's really not.
You just flew to your death.
Well, I'm sinking to my watery grave here, so... Okay, bird gets a second chance. Bird can't go in water.
Bird fight?
Bird can't fight. Can I just fly through this level? No, I can't. Unfortunate. I just have to be the uncool ninja. Oh, here we go. Take that, enemies.
Is this speedrun tech? Yeah.
It actually is. Yeah, the speedrun tech is to turn into the cat as quickly as possible to beat the first level. I'm terrible at this. I'm so terrible at this. But if you're not terrible at this, you can beat this in seriously like 6 or 7 minutes. It is a very short game. Plus, I mean, a underwater tiger.
I love underwater tiger.
A tiger that fights better underwater than above water. How can you go wrong? Man, now I want to get good at this game.
I like this kitty.
Mm-hmm. That's the most badass kitty on NES. I'll tell you what. Let me jump like 50 feet in the air.
I don't know, that What's Michael FDS game was pretty badass. The one that taught you English.
That's true, yeah. Cats that teach English are pretty badass.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think he could, survive drowning.
Yeah. Here we go. I'm gonna beat this level. Excuse me. Excuse me. I've changed my opinion. This game's terrible.
It's more like Robot Grave.
You saw that, right?
Yeah.
You saw that. We all saw that. That's an embarrassment for Sammy. I'm going to pretend like that didn't happen, though. This is a celebration of Sammy, and after the break, we're going to continue our celebration with Sammy in 1991 and beyond. Believe it or not, we haven't seen their best games yet. That's coming up real quick. You'll see that soon after the break. In the meantime, what you got for us, Alex?
I have got Game Players Tape, Volume 1, Tape 2. It is one of those 80s pro tip tapes you would get at your rental store or whatever. I'm including all the ads from it and the segment about Amagon, which, as Brighton Tail mentioned, they use slow-mo to try to beat it, and it kind of sounds terrible. It's very interesting. Oh,
enjoy that. Yeah, if you haven't had the experience of seeing a game in slow motion, which, how controllers did that back then was they would just rapidly pause and unpause the game. You're going to get a sense of what that's like. It was good stuff. Anyway, enjoy that, and we'll see y'all in about 10 minutes.
See you then.
And we're back. And remember, the key to winning Amagon is
I almost didn't even include that part, but it sounded beautiful.
I was telling Alex, I was surprised that the dude was able to play like that, because a lot of games, if you use slow motion, they become impossible to play, but Amagon, for some reason it works that way. Yeah, you can pause buffer into jumps and pretty much anything you need to do in that game, so that's one of the few games where slow motion actually comes in handy. I didn't expect the experts at Game Players Magazine to have to use slow motion, though. That's definitely a point away from their favor.
Thank you to IAS for showing us a picture of a hammy Sammy. I'm saving that.
Hammy Sammy!
Absolutely saving the hammy Sammy.
That's what Sammy should have been famous for.
Mm-hmm.
Come to American Sammy's for our Hammy Sammy Sunday.
That's disgusting.
No, like the day of the week, not the ice cream.
Please don't. Well, if
ooh,
you want...
ham sundae. Ooh.
That's for you, baby.
Now I'm grossed out. Well, we are back.
We're back.
Thanks to everyone watching and hosting. I hope you enjoy the show. We're about to get back into the world of American Sammy. So we left off in December of 1990 with Ninja Crusaders, their bid at tackling the ninja market. American Sammy was trying to get all the different genres covered. They got the racing game, they got the basketball game, they got the transforming Macho Man game. Now they had the ninja game. How do you follow up on that? Well, you know what? American Sammy's catalog here in the States is so slight that I decided, you know what? Why not cover their Famicom releases too? Mm-hmm. It turns out there's like 3 of them. So coming up next is the first of those. On June 28th, 1991, a Japanese exclusive came out from Sammy. It's called Supari Wars. Let's check it out.
Cool. Let's see what Supari Wars is all about. I'm assuming war.
I have no clue. This is going to be new to me. Sammy Industries. Sammy got himself an industry.
Okay, I like the art style. I don't know who those little guys are, but I like them too.
Are those the little bonchos? Little high school bullies?
I think so. And all of this is good.
Okay, so as far as modes go, we got Supari Wars, we got Supari Risk, we got one player Time Man Battle?
Ranger Snow calling these squash cunios. I see that.
Let's start the game. Let's see what the hell this is.
Like someone dropped a bunch of anvils on them.
Yeah.
Ah!
Oh, cool.
Alright, these guys are cool.
A lot of good-looking faces here. Oh, which one looks the most like us, you think?
I like the guy. I think maybe one of the guys with the sick mask, because we've been so sick.
That's true. We should be one of these guys.
So
Let's be the big bald guy with the mask.
Sounds good. That's us.
That would be a good icon on your social media site of choice. That guy's icon, and below it says, ah!
You gotta find a place that still does square icons for that, though.
Oh, true. Welcome to high school, everyone. Good old Tsuppari High. We're gonna have ourselves a gang battle, I guess?
I mean, I heard you talking shit about my high school, so you know how it goes.
Oh, there you go. They're all dead now.
Great.
This is way easier than River City Ransom.
I was gonna say, 1 minute in, we've already got 3 kills on our belt.
Yeah. Yataro Janeka! Oh, fuck! What? What is this?
Your face is cool.
My face is really cool. I'm gonna run away. My mama told me not to fight.
I support you.
My mama said I can do anything I want, even though I got no mouth.
I support you, No Mouth Joe. Is that why he has the mask on? Because in real life he has no mouth or nose?
I think it is. Is this American Sammy?
Yes. Also, according to Electric Boogaloo, the actual American Sammy may be derived from the company's founder, Hajime Satomi, who is currently the chairman and CEO of Sega Sammy Holdings, not Segi Sammy Holdings.
Segi Sammy.
So yeah, Sammy and Sega have merged, correct?
Yeah, that's another part of this story. So, you remember in the early 2000s, Sega had this huge flop on their hands called the Dreamcast. They decided to get out of the console market, and they were in pretty dire straits for a while. They lost a ton of money and opened themselves up to acquisition. And who would buy them but their old friends, Sammy. Sammy bought Sega, and they still own them to this day.
That's still shocking to me.
Isn't
That's
it, though?
So shocking.
Yeah, I was gonna get more into this as we get to the end of the stream. But,
yeah, we can.
But if you look at the Super Famicom output later on, they started out making a few different games. They made a fighting game called Battle Blaze. They tried a couple other different things. But around that time, their American Sammy releases slowed to a crawl, and they discovered the wonderful world of pachinko sims. If you look at their Super Famicom output, it's like half their games are a whole bunch of different genres, and then the latter half, it's nothing but pachinko games. And they kept making them for the Super Nintendo up until 1997. That's into the PlayStation era. That is after the release of the N64. There's Sammy just still releasing pachinko games for the Super Famicom because it was that profitable. And after a while, they kind of curbed their video game thing entirely to focus more on pachinko machines, you know, the actual Puzzslot stuff. Those were so popular that I guess they got enough money to buy Sega when that opportunity arose. So thank you, pachinko. You made Sammy some money, and they bought up a Sega.
They bought up a Sega. God bless.
The industry's pretty weird sometimes.
Sometimes.
Like Sammy just being like, forget video games. We're just gonna make pachinko machines. Wow, we got a lot of money now. Let's buy us a Sega.
Just going down to the store, picking up a Sega, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's also weird to think that Sega owns Atlas, and that's like, they're third in line. Like, Sega owns Atlas, but Sammy owns Sega, and therefore also Atlas. Sammy. These people, the people who made this game.
Okay, I want I want to see an updated Artista's ring. That's what I want to see.
Dude, me too. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sammy, they kind of had a second wind here in the States when they were releasing stuff for the Dreamcast. We mentioned this before, but they had the chance to release one localized game for the Dreamcast in its final days. They could release either Death Crimson Ox or Guilty Gear X. And of course, they chose Death Crimson.
Well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course.
They were just huge Cole fans, you know?
Yeah, I can't blame them.
I heard they were even thinking about releasing Coxbacks, but, you know,
If only.
Dreamcast one, yeah.
American Sammy presents Coxbacks, the Icchokusen masterpiece. Yeah, it's a wild industry out there. Even outside of the States, you still have these odd situations like Sammy, of all people, buying Sega. And I'm gonna win one match here, I swear to God.
Alright, you're doing... Okay. Okay.
Maybe he'll just walk into my feet.
He's kind of doing that.
I'm just gonna stand here kicking in midair and looking real sad.
Oh, he looks so depressed.
And if you walk into me, it's your own fault.
Oh.
Oh, this is tight. We did it!
Oh, we killed him! Yes!
Oh, he's so happy.
Oh, I support you.
He has no mouth and he must scream.
He must scream, Sammy!
Yeah, for whatever reason, this never got released here in the States, and now you play kind of a simulation game? Oh my god. Yeah, this is set up like the map from a freaking Koei game. And
Well,
now it's an RTS?
This kicks ass.
What is this?
More info from Electric Boogaloo. The US division of Sammy had a development division, which after the Sega merger was spun off into High Studios, which is owned currently by Activision.
Man.
Hopefully they're still around.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Haven't been laid off yet.
Oh, gotta get more votes, baby.
Mm-hmm.
North versus South, but Kunio-kun. This is not the Elephant Walk music, but it does sound like it, yes.
It's very similar, yeah. Japan was all about ripping off Henry Mancini tunes for a while. Hey, we're doing pretty well.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I think we won. I think that means we took over that high school. No more school, everyone. You can all go home.
Hooray!
We fired all the teachers.
Romance with the three ponchos.
Well, that was weird. I've never played that before, and I wasn't sure what to expect, but that was better than I thought it would be. Whatever that was.
That's
Wow.
something.
Wow. Supari Wars. One of the standouts in Sammy's catalog. Alright, next up, we got some real next level shit. I want you to remember Amagon. I want you to remember that ugly looking dude with the machine gun who turns into a giant muscle man. I want you to remember the awkward controls, the one-hit kills, the rapid-fire pausing and unpausing sound effects. I want you to remember all of that game's jank, and then I want you to see Icom's follow-up, released later that year. Released in November of 1991 from the same developer as Amagon, believe it or not, it's Vice Project Doom. And this, I think it's safe to say, is American Sammy's magnum opus. This game is fucking amazing. Look at this prosperous, ripe world. Like a juicy melon.
All of it open. Oh no!
And, oh man, the market's open. Time to introduce the gold standard. Jacobs, update me on the status of Project Doom. So yeah, they're biting the style of Ninja Gaiden pretty hard here, but...
Yes, sir. Progress is scheduled. However, there is one small problem. One of the subjects has escaped.
Exactly, Brighton Tail. How do you go from Amagon to... Yeah, you haven't even seen the game yet, but trust me, this is a pretty radical departure. Yeah, if only Amagon had these quality of cutscenes. I wanted to see what that guy was thinking. How is he doing? Jesus? Spends most of his time with them, the lepers. Should I bring them to you? Maybe about time.
No! Leave him alone. He will... Oh. I guess he will, just as he did 30 years ago.
Dun dun dun. It's raining.
That's cool.
Yeah,
How?
some cool intrigue right off the bat for Vice Project Doom.
Yeah, Yoshi. Sammy got Sammy edgy.
They sure did. That text was weirdly clear and free of errors. That's what strikes me about it. Maniac loose in Area D on Route 246. Take him down. Nice and easy. So we control a guy named Hart. I think it's Jimmy Hart. Well, just what I needed. Another nutcase loose in the city. It's showtime!
This is so cool.
Yeah. So, it's Spy Hunter, at least at first. Check this shit out.
Whoa!
They got multiple layers of highway here. Some pretty fast action. NES can barely keep up. There's a lot of slowdown already. You pick up a big thing of meat to replenish your car's life meter.
Okay, I like that you have to eat meat for your car.
The meat's for your car. You just shove it in the tailpipe, and it's like, nom nom nom.
Oh, that's so good. Let's see. Was this developed by American Sammy? Who developed this?
No, this was Icom, the people who made Amagon just a few years prior. And once this reaches the side-scrolling segments, it's going to seem even less likely that it's Icom, but trust me, it really is. Yeah, this is one of those multi-genre games a la The Adventures of Bayou Billy. It's got side-scrolling, it's got shooting, and it's also got car racing.
Alright, so some information about Icom from Electric Boogaloo, fact fan of the channel. Icom was eventually purchased by Sammy and folded in 1992. Later, the founder of Icom founded another studio with the same name, developing notably Polestar on Famicom. They later became Yume Kobo before folding into SNK during their bankruptcy. That's wild. Yep,
Icom later became Yume Kobo, who did Polestar and Blazing Star for the Neo Geo.
Yes, Neo Geo. Okay.
His fingers were twisted. We're human.
See a dra- Is this furry?
This is more TF.
Good. Cool.
And he was carrying a gun.
Oh, no!
Talk about the creeps. It's everyone's worst fear, a furry with a gun.
Hey, I used to be on Fur Affinity. I can tell you those guys do suck.
But yeah, the Icom was eventually folded into Sammy, and that's when something unfortunate happened. I think the people there weren't too happy about being absorbed into Sammy, and oh man, late title card! How fucking cool is that? That's some innovation for your ass right there. So yeah, immediately after Icom folded into Sammy, half the team split. They split to form Yume Kobo, and the other half remaining there were just kind of like, what do we do now? And Sammy was like, I don't know, I guess we just fire you. And that's what happened. But fucking look at this game! This is from the Amagon people.
This is really good looking,
yeah.
I gotta say.
You get multiple weapons. You get this cool sword. You get a gun, if you want to roll that way. And you get a grenade, which you can use against the Chinese hopping vampires.
Great.
That have infested New York City. So basically, this is the greatest game ever made. Yeah, I had this cartridge for the NES back when this game was new, and my god, it was wonderful. As far as I'm concerned, this is top tier. This is right up there with stuff like Batman, Kabuki Quantum Fighter, all the good stuff. And it's from the Amagon people.
Also, random question from chat, but Danny, have you ever played, speaking of furries with guns, have you ever played Solata Robo?
I have not, no. I wish I got a copy back when it was actually gettable, but now it's very expensive.
Yeah, BMF says the game doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and yeah, the plot is kinda...
It's cool that they tried, though.
Yeah.
It's neat. They got that 8-bit intrigue going on.
I like these punks who can't find their contact lenses.
Is that what it is?
It's something. Either that or they're having really bad back problems, or the edibles hit.
Man, New York got a real problem with the yokai this evening.
Who's that cool pumpkin head throwing sights at you?
We're gonna start seeing those hopping umbrella things.
Oh, shit. So what yokai is that punk on, who's just crawling around?
That's Crawl Punk. He's the spirit of punks who died in battle.
Ah, damn.
Meat. Meat is good for human and for car.
I have not played the Never Stop Sneakin'. That's apparently another game with furries and guns, and it's by the makers, creator of Dust. Haven't played it, but...
Look at this. This dude's throwing girders at me.
That's so cool!
And that's a cool use of the NES's graphical limitations, because I think what they're doing here is they're making those girders like part of the background, which is why they're able to scroll so quickly. Just... How did you go from Amagon to a game that's so technically excellent like this? Like, they're doing cool stuff with the graphics, there's a whole bunch of variety to the gameplay. What in the world happened? What is going on around here?
This is...
Christ! I mean, Christy.
Sorry, it's me, Sophia. Christy is on a smoke break, so I
got your stuff. Cameron. That's all we need. We got furries with guns, we got Chinese hopping vampires, and we got black magic. So yeah, based on the games we've seen so far in the stream, if you just judge those games on what they were, would you expect to see a game like this among them? This is like a real game. This ain't no Amagon.
There should be an Amagon cameo, I agree.
I would actually like to see a remade Amagon. Like, you actually take the skills that you learned from making that game and do it right.
Alright, I'm looking at the, Oh my god! The Vice Project art in Japan is way fucking cooler.
Oh yeah, and it's called Gun Deck in Japan, in case you're looking for that version.
That's a good name.
Mm-hmm.
That does look like Bruce Willis. That definitely looked like Bruno there.
Good old Bruno.
Just shooting a gun at all these pumpkin heads.
Bruno versus the pumpkin heads.
Who you got?
I'm betting on Bruno.
But do you think he can beat? Do you think he can defeat the furries with guns?
Oh, I don't know.
That's always the hardest fight.
Bruce Willis would have to team up with someone like Tom Cruise or something to defeat the furries with guns.
That is an unbeatable CinemaCon combo.
Mm-hmm.
You got Bruce Willis.
You got movies with Bruce Willis and Tom Cruise. You can't go wrong.
You can. And Tales with a Gun, I assume.
Yeah. It's an all-star cast. Yeah, it's been a while since I played this game, and I was wondering how it would hold up, and the answer is wonderfully. This plays really, really well. My memories did not lie to me.
This is just so fucking cool.
Yeah, even the graphical details, like the subtle flickering of the lights on the background, like, Jesus. Amagon didn't have shit going on in the backgrounds. I think you fought like an alligator at one point. That was the game's high point.
Rip.
And maybe the weirdest thing about this game is that the difficulty is actually pretty manageable. Up until the very last level, anyway. That's when it gets pretty hard. But it's not like Ninja Gaiden, where it just starts completely destroying you right away. This game gives you a chance, and I appreciate that.
I like this enemy.
Oh yeah.
Cool ass game.
Boss fights are all unique.
Sorry, I wish I had something very insightful to say other than cool game. But cool game.
It's got some cool wavy lines going on in the background too, I just noticed.
Rip.
That may be it for me. Shit. Well, I was hoping to get to the third gameplay type, because believe it or not, this game eventually turns into a gallery shooter, a la Cabal or Wild Guns.
Ooh.
And it's way better than what Bayou Billy tried to do with that formula. Fuck you, Bayou Billy. All the people who had Bayou Billy, they agree with me.
Danny, the Bayou Billy hater, has entered the chat.
There's nothing good about Bayou Billy, except for the name. And the voice samples.
Uzi says, hear me out. Vice Project mood.
This game is a mood. I don't want to stop playing this. I'm going to try that boss again.
Okay, you know what? I support you. I believe in you. You can also duck and run at the same running speed, by the way.
Oh, look at that! Look at him go!
Yeah, look at that! Thank you, Whoop.
This dude is pretty agile. gonna try that with the boss. I think that's the key. Also, the key getting hit a lot. Just trust me.
Just as much as you can. Bootleg Bruce Willis doesn't need, he doesn't need health.
Bootleg Bruce.
Looks like you've got 1 bar of health left.
Now that's 0.
Cool.
I did that on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
That's a strat.
It's a good strat.
Should I just use my gun against the boss?
I would. I mean...
That feels like giving up. That's G for gun.
Oh.
Alright, let's gun this guy down.
You can also jump up ladders. You don't actually need to climb them.
Oh, neat. Okay, the gun fucking annihilates this guy. I should have been using the gun the entire time. I was a fool. To think that grenade would be superior to gun.
Doing so good. Come on.
I ran out of bullets. Yeah, there we go.
Oh my god. Whooper was screaming, sword, 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 sword!
I did it.
We did it. Hey, guess what I came across? That rogue driver's gun turned out to be military issue. Oh my god, it's Amagon! Oh my god!
Amagon, you look cool.
No, I meant that's the gun person.
Oh, okay.
The guy with the gun. That's who's trying to kill you. Amagon is back for revenge.
That would be a cool tie-in.
Honestly, an evil Amagon?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But we gotta go to South Central America.
South Central America?
Well,
there's been some news of trouble coming out of this town called Ricardo. Might be worth checking out.
thanks, Chrissy. That's Chrissy, right?
I think so.
Well, even though it's a little early in the season, I guess my vacation's gonna be spent in Ricardo! Jesus Christ, look at this background. Also, those gun levels come much later than I remember. There is actually a third gameplay type, you just don't see it yet.
Those cats are killing you.
Yeah. Those cats are back from Ninja Crusaders. They're just as deadly.
Yeah, the cutscenes are a little dangerous. Oh god, I haven't thought about that shit forever, bless you. Ranger Snow calls this a South Central American shipping crate factory. I think that Video Game King called this a TV station in the sky?
That's pretty much what it looks like, yeah. Sky TV bringing you all the news of, oh shit, there's a dude throwing grenades.
You know, you'd think that that wouldn't be such a problem at a news station, but you'd be amazed.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when Dan Rather threw a grenade right at the camera.
Someone asked him what the frequency Kenneth was, and he just threw a grenade at him. Come on, boys, let's party! Oh, here we go. They did a cutscene just for that, for him to say, let's party, and then he just starts shooting everyone in sight.
God, I love the purple and blue, and I love the colors on those bricks there. Yeah.
The thing is about these multi-genre games, what you end up is essentially with games that are jacks of all trades and masters of none. This game is the exception to that. Yeah, whereas BioBilly just had a whole bunch of different shit that all sucked, they do all the different gameplay styles pretty well. And how common is that? When did that ever happen on the NES except with this game?
This is great.
It is. This makes American Sammy just all worthwhile. Everything they've done.
Chat's still talking about the TV station. Uzi says, so this is Sky TV. I thought they were just for pirating wrestling shows. I'm getting on with that.
Reminds me of my mercenary days.
Cool Coyote says Connie Chung with a gun is bad news for the bad guys, and
it's bad news for everyone.
Video Game King says other news stations only send their helicopter in the sky. We sent our entire goddamn station up there. Channel 8 News, the only station that reports the weather from where it happens.
Nice. So if you're wondering if this is a true blue Ninja Gaiden clone, well, there's deadly birds, so there's your answer.
Beautiful.
Birds probably the worst enemy in the game, as they are in many Nintendo games. Also realizing just now, your choice of weapons, they totally ripped that off from Ninja Spirit, the Irem arcade game. In that game you could choose a sword or shurikens, which are a kind of gun, and also these bombs, which worked exactly the same.
Shurikens, they're a kind of gun.
Well, yeah, same result, you know.
Ninja gun.
So in current parlance, would you call this Icom's glow-up moment?
You know what? Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
Good.
I'll pretend that was a cool thing to say, and that Twitch isn't revoking our partnership as we speak.
That was an incredibly cool thing to say. I don't know. Trying to get the youth.
Listen.
Watch, I'm doing the Fortnite dance.
You are. That's amazing. You might say Danny is lit.
Well, now we have to turn it off.
Yeah, we have to leave now.
Okay, if you play any game you've seen on this stream, play Vice Project Doom. It is seriously good, and it makes no sense why it's so good, considering where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Icom did, or learned, or whatever happened, but it worked. And this was their last big game before they were absorbed and then subsequently crushed by Sammy. I was about to say capitalism, but, you know, same thing. Vice Project Doom, good shit.
God bless.
So that's the end of 91, and you might think, oh, this is just the beginning. Sammy finally found their groove. They're going to take over the 8-bit systems and just completely annihilate Nintendo and show Sega right before they buy them. Well, unfortunately, they only had 4 games after that. 92 just took a real downturn. I guess they were focusing more on the 16-bit systems at this point, so that makes sense. But considering Vice Project Doom, man, I think they could have made a few more games in that vein. Unfortunately, what's next is February 28th, 1992, Japan exclusive, a game called Puzzslot. This is another game I've never played. But
well, I'm assuming it's going to be a puzzle slot machine.
That's what it sounds like, yeah. Music on or off? Oh, okay, here we go.
Oh, man.
No, that sucks.
This also sucks.
That sucks, too. That's the worst samba I've ever heard.
Why is this so bad?
That's a terrible waltz. China? China is a genre?
I guess so, but this is also the best music so far.
True. Okay, we'll go with China.
It's sorry about that, but it's also the only one that sounds like music.
What the fuck?
Oh my god, is this Tetris slots?
Okay, one button rotates the things, the other button stops the reels. So, it's a puzzle game where you spin the reels, and whatever you get is your puzzle piece. Oh, you can start them up again, too. Look at that. Oh, you can only do it twice.
Okay.
Alright. And I guess if you time it, you can... Okay, yeah, it is possible to time it. That's a pretty weird mechanic.
This is bizarre.
This is really weird. Even for Sammy.
So, how do you do a thing?
I'm gonna try and line up some stuff. Emphasis on try.
Okay, just get a bar. Hey!
Hey! Oh, and that makes all the pieces drop, too.
Okay.
You know, it makes sense that a pachinko and patchy slap manufacturer would come up with this bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it counts up your winnings, too. Oh, and of course, 777s awards you more than the other ones.
Of course.
Is this a good idea for a puzzle game?
It's definitely unique.
Yeah?
But it's also...
Too early to say whether it's a good game, but... Well... This sure was a thing that they did way back when. This feels perverse somehow, like you're adding microtransactions to Tetris.
Or like, did you hear about the Tetris Battle Royale?
I did hear, yeah. That's by Arika of all people. So make sure not to stream it ever.
I was gonna say, are you gonna kick a lot of ass in it?
It requires you to have the Nintendo Online Pass, which I don't.
So no. The countdown at the top right, I think that is how many pieces you have left, yeah.
Okay.
And, yeah, I guess this is kind of like columns, but slots.
Yeah, it's more like columns than anything else, considering it's match 3. It's just, well, I can say there's no other puzzler I've played that's quite like this. Let's see if we can meet the clear goal. It's 300.
Well, chat likes, apparently Tetris Battle's pretty good, so that's cool.
Oh, is it? Okay. Maybe I'll try a month of the Nintendo service.
Begrudgingly.
With whatever ROMs they decide to give away.
I hope it's Urban Champion.
They almost certainly have Urban Champion on there already.
You know that's gonna be the big thing.
I did it.
Hey!
And that's what you call Puzzslot.
Well, Electric Boogaloo, I am glad to hear that Yasuhiro Kawasaki improved the music for Illusion of Gaia, because their work in this game fucking blows.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
According to GDRI.
Talk about your glow-ups. I'm gonna keep saying that, and you're not gonna like it ever.
Hey, as long as I can keep saying Ripperoonie and make references to Norman Schwarzkopf, you can call things glow-ups.
Fair enough. Well, I'm sure this game had an audience of someone, but I haven't seen any other games like this in the years since, so you might consider this a failure. So weird, though. Why do this? Why? Let's move on.
Yeah, apparently they don't have Urban Champion on the NES Online.
What?
There's a separate release of the arcade version.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, you get to pay $8 for it instead of playing it for free.
Oh, thank God.
I love you, Nintendo.
Like, God damn it, you will like Urban Champion.
Alright, Puzzslot, February 28th, 92. A week later, also a Japan exclusive, on March 6th, 1992, came a game called Magic Candle. I think this is a port of a PC game, but I know nothing about it.
Cool.
Oh, I didn't mention this before, but in my notes here, Supari Wars was developed by a studio called Soft Machine, which is the title of a book that's a sequel to Naked Lunch by William S. Burroughs. Of all the things to name your studio.
That is so good.
I'd have just called it Naked Lunch Studio and been done with it.
That reminds me of how St. Giga referenced, whatchamacallit, Kurt Vonnegut as well.
Oh, that's right.
So wild to me. Okay, Gibdo mentions that if this is, based on the PC Magic Candle, then it's a big-ass RPG, so...
It sounds like a big-ass RPG with that name. The Magic Candle. Give me that fast message. Chopsticks? Oh no, it's different. Let's start our big-ass RPG adventure. Mm-hmm.
Alright. There's a candle, and I assume it's magic.
Man. Oh, go ahead.
It's not that important, but Ranger Snow says, the Magic Candle sounds like an obscure Don Bluth movie. Yes! Yes!
Oh, you're thinking of The Pebble and the Penguin.
The Pebble and the Magic Candle.
This is looking pretty Dragon Quest-y.
Troll in Candle Park.
So think of the timing of this. The big RPG boom on the Famicom came and went and was long gone by the time this game came out. 92 was when Sammy finally decided to make a Famicom RPG. After Dragon Quest 2, 3, 4, Final Fantasy 2 and 3. Millions and millions of rip-offs and clones. Only in 92, in the Famicom's twilight years, did Sammy finally decide, yeah, I guess it's finally time for an RPG.
BMF mentions this whole game is going to have a red tint because they left the red emphasis bit on in the PPU. FDS Bubble Bobble did the same thing.
Oh, that's why Bubble Bobble looks so weird on FDS. Man, that's a legit fuck-up. Damn it, Sammy.
Yeah, I also hope this game has Dom DeLuise on it. And yeah, this game definitely does have that Ultima-inspired kind of... At least it looks like it. So
yeah, it's got that foreshortened perspective, and whatever you call it.
Big PC border here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Alright, we got some information from Electric Boogaloo. This is a port of a PC RPG, of course, Magic Candle. Originally developed by Minecraft Software. I love that
Minecraft?
name. Yes.
Wow.
It was ported by Japan Soft Technology, the other Sammy's subsidiary that got folded into the company along with Icom. So yeah, so...
Oh, the actual game looks like this in the frame. Weird. Well, let's talk to this guy. Anyone know if this has gotten a fan translation? I don't think it has.
I don't know. Okay, so Magic Candle is actually a long-running series of PC games as well, so...
Okay, that's my equipment.
Let's look at the PC one. Oh my gosh, the PC Magic Candle looks like horseshit, thank you.
Whoa, that looks exactly like Ultima.
That looks just like Ultima!
That explains a few things. Okay, I equipped my items. Can I leave the house now? Please?
No.
Okay, the door says I need a key. I don't see any treasure chests, though. And this guy's not telling me anything useful.
Alright, we got a, looks like there is an attempt to translate this game going down, so...
Oh, good. It doesn't seem too bad, it just seems, you know, kind of late. But that's kind of Sammy's MO, considering they got into the Famicom development so late to begin with.
So here's something interesting. The translation notes for the game say, despite the name, it is not really related to the PC game series of the same name. So,
oh, wow.
So you know what? Guess what? I don't
So this
know.
is a Sammy original, I guess.
I guess.
They're not ripping off Minecraft, thank God.
Oh my god, Magic Candle 2 that does look like Ultima, Jesus.
Well, it's official, I'm stumped. I'm stumped in the equivalent of the throne room from Dragon Quest 1. I feel like shit now.
Oh.
Well, I'm a dumbass, and my quest ends here before I could even leave. Magic Candle, I hope one day it gets translated. It seems semi-interesting, at least. But this is it. We're nearing the end. There's only 2 more Sammy games that came out after this. The next one came in August 92. Here in the States, Might and Magic. Yeah, this one was real late. It was one of those releases that had the red bar at the top of the box. The very last NES releases all had those. Stuff like Kickmaster.
Ooh, very cool. Whoa, very cool!
Oh, it's Pachelbel's Cannon.
Hey, this kicks ass. Uzi calls them American semi-interesting.
They are semi-interesting. That's kind of why I like them. Like, so much of their stuff is just typical generic shit, and then out of nowhere comes Vice Project Doom, just punches you in the face. That's how cool it is. Now this one I know for sure is a port of a PC RPG. Might and Magic is a very long-running series. Whoa, cool owl.
Whoa, that kicked ass! Sorpagal?
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 What is your name? Pick these numbers.
My name is, 69.
My name is 69 Bill.
Are you a trucker? Do you want to join my trucking crew?
Hell yeah.
Go ahead, fighters.
Ooh, fine foods. Let's go. So this is a pretty late release, so therefore the graphics look pretty good. By this point, people have been making NES games for a while. Would you like to buy some capital F food? Yes, I would.
What do you got?
It's just food?
It's just food.
I guess it's sausages. That's what's in the picture.
I guess so. Maybe it's that blue thing behind him.
Not enough gold. 69 Bill is a 17-year-old knight. He's in good health. So this was not a US exclusive. This came out in Japan first for the Famicom, and then they localized it. Which is kind of a weird decision, considering just how late it is. At this point, you wouldn't put the effort into translating something like this. But Sammy's not most publishers.
Wait, are we Sorpagal? No, we're 69 Bill.
Yeah, I'm 69 Bill.
Let's keep saying Sorpagal.
Because that's where we are.
Oh. Okay, Codeman mentions music in this version was arranged by Masahiro Iwata. Well, interesting. And Abby's like, yeah, note the Geiger-esque interface from... I was going to say...
Yeah, that is kind of...
Huh.
Yeah, what's with that wavy tube coming out of that thing? That is an especially Geiger-ish touch there. Yeah, it's a first-person dungeon crawler where you get into random battles. So, what is this?
You can bribe... I think it says Mutant Lar.
Let's bribe the Mutant Lar with...
Food?
Food. Hey!
It worked!
It worked!
That kicks ass.
The secret to a monster's heart is through its stomach. Welcome to the gallery. Yeah, these games in their original forms are incredibly complex. Later ports for Sega Genesis were much more successful at bringing the experience home, I think. There was also an exclusive Sega CD port of Might and Magic 3, which was only released in Japan, that I've been kind of curious about. Okay, you want to know the one thing I know about Might and Magic? There's only one thing I know about this series. It was from a GamePro strategy tape, where J.D. Roth told you codes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There was a part for Might and Magic 3 for the Sega Genesis, and he tells you how to get to this open sewer. He's all like, go north, then left, then head west, go through this town, whatever, you'll find yourself in the sewer. And then he said, now this sounds pretty gnarly, but when the game asks, say yes, you want to drink the sewage. And that apparently makes you super powerful and just lets you plow through all the enemies in the game. And that's the one thing I know about Might and Magic. You can drink sewage to get superpowers. I don't know if that's in this game, but here's hoping. Boy, didn't we play a Mega CD game just like this?
We did.
And I couldn't get anywhere.
Calling him James Pro. Yes.
The door's locked. The door's locked.
Is it locked behind you?
Yes.
Oh, well.
I can't go anywhere. Well, there's some creature in this. Alright, this thing has locked me in the room and refuses to open the door.
This sprite is pissed.
How is 69 Bill gonna get out of this? Do you think it'll listen to bribery?
Yeah. Do we have any more food?
Let's try. Not enough!
2 points. Okay, you're still alive.
Oh my god, I'm going to be locked in this room until I'm killed by a sprite.
Well, your attack missed.
We're both doing no damage. 69 Bill is as strong as its tiny sprite. Okay, it has auto battle at least. That's nice. As for whether it has any other conveniences, who knows? I don't know anyone who's played this game. Monster goes down!
Oh.
Alright, go ahead, fighters. That's a solid wall. That's a solid wall. And that's a solid wall.
Are the walls
Wait.
closing? Okay. Are the walls closing in on you?
Yes? I didn't expect to have an existential moment here, but...
Okay, look at those faces. Those snakes are so happy.
I'm gonna give them gold. Not enough.
Oh no, you didn't have enough gold! Damn, these are some pricey snakes.
Can't buy them off. Wow, well, 69 Bill is just spinning in place in this solitary confinement, but he's kicking ass.
See, chat says, I'm 69 Bill, and I had to call the fire department to break me out of the bathroom last week.
I escaped!
You did! Oh my god!
I don't know how, but we win. That's the end of the game.
We won! We
69
escaped.
Bill overcame his solitary confinement psychosis, and he's back in the real world.
Oh, I'm so happy for him.
Good job, 69 Bill. And believe it or not, that ends American Sammy's catalog here in the States. That was their final release here in North America. There was one last game that they released in Japan, and we're gonna go ahead and play that to finish things out. But that's the whole catalog here in the States. You got Amagon, you got Vice Project Doom, then you have weird stuff like Might and Magic. But over in Japan, things ended on Christmas Day, 1992, with the release of Yakyuu Jinsei Icchokusen.
Sweet.
Well, it's got Yakyuu in the title, so it's probably a baseball game. A dramatic baseball game.
I like this. I love this.
Son, I want you to kill the moon. Yes, father, I will kill the moon.
I can't believe the moon killed your mother.
Oh, nice. What's my character gonna look like? He's got messy hair.
Mm-hmm.
He's got normal eyes.
Aww.
Oh, he looks kind of impish.
You look adorable.
He's gonna be getting into some trouble.
Yes, we will baseball the moon.
It's a baseball board game?
What is this? Get your milk. It makes you stronger, I assume.
I'm playing Janken with the sun? What is this madness?
Codename Mentions is also composed by Masaharu Iwata. Good.
That guy was getting work back then. Help. What? Okay, we did it. I drank some milk.
And...
And... It was good!
Good!
I got 10 points. Okay, so these are random events. I guess these can go either way, like maybe you drank some bad milk or something.
Alright, keep going.
Let's do it. Gonna play Janken with the sun, and I won, so I get to move. How bizarre.
Oh, you're improving your body. I do like the character creator
You
option.
did some pull-ups, and then... Oh, you fell and broke your head. -1.
Alright, I'm looking at the cover. Thank you, Abby, for the cover here. And oh, he's also pointing on the cover! This looks cool, I gotta say.
This is a strange one. Oh, I landed on the pig space. Okay, you ate some food, and... you gained a shit ton of weight. You're now a big boy.
Nice. Electric Boogaloo mentions this game is developed by Pixel, who developed X-Men on the NES.
Oh, God!
But this is so interesting.
I went for a walk and I fell in a mud hole.
Your baseball career is not going so hot, Danny.
I'm gonna get to the major leagues and they're gonna ask for my life story and I'm gonna be like, well, I drank some good milk and then I fell in a mud hole. Oh, time to drink the milk again.
Oh yeah, as Video Game King, this is, this is a Game of Life-esque game, and those are very, very, very popular in Japan in the 90s.
Oh, for sure.
Hugely popular.
But considering the word Yakyuu is in the name, you know, I thought it was a baseball game?
Well, it kind of is. It's a baseball player baseball player Game of Life.
Oh, no bullies kicked over my sandcastle today.
+1, something.
+1 no bully. Man, playing Janken with the sun is a surreal touch that I haven't seen anywhere else. Okay, there was some kind of school presentation and... backpack.
Cool. Oh, you got one baseball.
Pika Pika no Randoseru something. I think I got Pikachu.
Awesome. Is he gonna he has some shocking things to say about your ability to play baseball.
Oh, it was the bad milk.
Oh,
I got the poops.
I was gonna say you got the shits.
Alex, what the fuck?
This is great. Trop of Luxury, yes, please stream this sometime.
Yeah,
please.
yeah. I need this to make some kind of sense. Please stream this.
Okay, Trop of Luxury mentions you were given a shiny backpack is what happened.
I see. Okay, nice.
Or purchase on what happened.
What was the game center? You went in there and... you got your ass beat.
Oh my god, they kicked us! They killed us.
Arcades in the 80s and 90s, they were dangerous places, not like today, where they just don't exist. Alright, you got me. I'm gonna get to the end of this map, since it seems like we're pretty close to there, but while I do that, what do we think of Sammy? Now, a bunch of their releases that I covered were released both in the States and Japan, while some were exclusive to either region. And it's hard to say which region got the better end of the deal. Both regions got Vice Project Doom, so that's all that really matters. Oh no, it was a poison butterfly!
Oh, fuck. Also, apparently your stats are in the negative.
Oh yeah, they are! I only have a 1 stat in baseball itself. Oh, I'm a very weak child.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, time to eat some green eggs and ham. That's actually what it is.
Let's see.
Oh, it's good.
Okay,
That was the good noise. Okay, I'm back to 0. I'm not in the negatives anymore. Yeah, Sammy, there were worse publishers, but boy, you can't really liken Sammy to anything else because they did their own thing. They got in late, they made the games they wanted to make, and they did not care what the trends were. They just saw what other people did, and they were like, okay, I guess we'll do that too. Yeah!
Yeah, and as Lush Boogaloo mentions, Genesis version of Viewpoint only came out in the US, so
Oh yeah,
the
that
US
too.
did fare better.
That is true. Genesis Viewpoint wasn't terrible, it was very lacking in color. So yeah, if we had the time, I was going to cover Sammy's Genesis catalog. They released a bunch of games there under the name Treco in order to fool Nintendo, because at the time, you know, Nintendo didn't want people releasing games for other systems, so they became Treco. That's when they released stuff like Fighting Masters, Street Smart, Sorcerer's Kingdom, Atomic Robo Kid, and a couple of other kind of low-tier games. Not really much of note. Unfortunately, Genesis didn't have its Vice Project Doom.
Alright, you're eating in. Oh, good.
Alright,
You got 2 baseball!
I got a 2 in baseball. Let's do it. Can't wait to see what's at the end here. Oh, I'm huge.
Oh my god.
I've been eaten.
Oh,
Oh, I had an existential crisis while riding my bike.
ain't that the life?
Mm-hmm. We're almost there. Well, we bet a bear.
Okay, cool, bear.
Okay, this could go really bad. But it didn't. The bear actually taught me how to become a karate master.
Good! You know what? I'm proud of you for...
And it increased my baseball stat. You know, there were a number of ways we could have ended this stream, and this is maybe the thing I expected the least. This is like nothing else I've ever played. Okay, here we are. Oh, we gotta take the test. And... it's a baseball test?
Yes!
I'm hammering on the A button.
You go.
I'm using rapid fire, actually. This is it. I'm putting myself on a path to the major leagues.
Run! Run, my boy!
Rounding the bases in 20 seconds ain't bad. Hell yeah.
I guess that was good.
Yatta. I got a 3 baseball
Oh my
stat
God.
boost.
Alright, and at school, you walked out without your pants on.
Classic mistake.
Classic Danny.
That's me when I was in jazz band. Just walked out in my underpants and made that face.
It's like, hey, who wants to listen to jazz?
Oh man. Well, we did it. We made it to the school. And... hey.
This lady's like, hey, good baseball.
She said, Sugoi.
Mm-hmm. Sugoi baseball.
And gave me another baseball.
And now you're at another, Oh, you were so... Oh shit, it's a baseball ghost!
I've been visited by the baseball ghost. And... he haunted my dreams for years and years afterward.
Hey,
And on that note...
I've decided what I feel about, American Sammy.
yeah.
They kick ass. They kick so much ass.
So, in conclusion, what does Sammy USA do?
Games.
Games. They do games.
They do games.
That's the conclusion we came up with today. I think that's as good a place as any. We're traumatized by ghosts. That seems like a pretty realistic way to end my baseball career.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that would have happened. Well, it was a life full of ups and downs. We drank some good milk, we drank some bad milk, and in the end, we got a pretty good baseball stat until our career was ended by ghosts.
Our career... Oh, that's so beautiful.
Good stuff.
Ghosts and stuff.
I think we're done. That's good. What a great way to end this stream. Thanks for watching. There's our buddy Amagon. Yeah, that's how he appears on the cover, and the ad straight up calls him the world's most decorated Marine.
He is very decorated.
Kids, join the Marines today, and you can get all the decorations of Amagon. Well, thanks to all our patrons who voted for American Sammy in this week's poll. We could have played Sunsoft games. We could have played Tecmo games. Hell, we could have played LGN games. Instead, we played American Sammy games, and we got probably the weirdest stream possible out of that deal.
Yeah.
So thanks everyone for that.
Yes, thank you. And thank you to everybody who saw the baseball ghost, because wow.
Sammy is quite a company. Yeah, they had their ups and downs, some real good stuff, Vice Project Doom, and some real memorable stuff, even though it's not always good. Amagon, for better or for worse, is one of the better known North American NES games. God knows why.
Well, it's got the world's most decorated Marine.
It does. But either in the US or Japan, they're a good time. Seek out their games. I'm going to have to play more of this baseball Jinsei game, whatever the hell it was, because...
Yes.
Wow. Traumatized by ghosts.
And Troff, yes, if you want to stream this, please stream this.
Oh, by all means. If you do, I will host you. That's my promise.
Yes.
Well, thanks for watching.
Thank you.
We're Retro Pals. We do this sort of thing every week. Tune in every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central to see us play whatever our patrons vote for us to play. Go to patreon.com/retropals and pitch in a few bucks a month, and you get to vote on our weekly polls. Weekly now that we are not sick anymore.
Yes.
Sorry for missing last week. I was mostly dead. We'll be back with another poll on Friday, so please look forward to that. I trust your judgment. I didn't know what to think when I saw American Sammy won, but once again, the pollsters, they know what they're doing. I should never doubt them.
Always, always, always trust the polls.
So I'm going to look for someone to host. Alex, why don't you wrap us up?
All right. Thank you all again very much for watching. We are also at Twitter, at twitter.com/retropalshq. That's where we post our Mascot Friday streams and, our Mascot Friday polls when we go live and when we post new videos on YouTube. So check us out there. And speaking of YouTube, we are on YouTube at youtube.com/retropals. We post highlights of our streams there along with original videos. Also, we are looking to get hopefully our archives channel back on, so keep a lookout on that. We'll hopefully start posting our archives, full archives to
more frequent archives. That's our promise.
Yeah, to the archive channel, which I'll post later. Let's see, we're also let's see, that's that. Also, I don't post it often, but we do on our archives channel. Speaking of which, our archives channel does host a playlist of all the videos we use for our intermissions. So go check out that playlist if you want to go see our intermissions on your own, the full things. From the original source itself, straight from the well.
Straight from the source, the purest of the pure. Okay, folks, we're done here. We'll be back on Friday, though, because we have some unfinished business.
Yes.
Tune in Friday at 8 p.m. Central. We're going to continue the Dark Story playthrough of Sonic Adventure 2. And we're going to conclude the exciting saga of Sonic's Shoes Blues.
Ooh, I'm excited.
What happens to his shoes? Who took them?
Who?
Where were they? Was it that evil Dr. Robotnik?
I bet Tails ate them.
He probably did. He eats everything.
He was eating those disgusting cookies, and he's like, "Oh, a pair of shoes, delicious."
That's a pretty good Tails voice.
That is the world's worst.
It was a shame I couldn't stream because doing the Tails voice actually became easier when I was deathly ill. We're gonna have to deal with what we're given though. So tune in Friday for the exciting conclusion of that and more Sonic Adventure 2. It's gonna be a good time. We're past the worst Rouge level. At least most people tell me it's the worst. We shall see.
We will see.
All right, we're going to quit. I'm done with video games. We're gonna host. Yeah, let's host Retro Gaming Live TV. They're doing their RG Love Marathon right now.
Oh, cool.
Right now they're doing a speedrun of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. The runner has gotten supersonic, so it's about to get super fast.
Oh, cool.
Go wish him luck, go say hi, and have a good evening. We'll see you later.
See ya, folks.